a lot of people that don't know anything about anime, they hear the word anime and they think of like hentai porn stuff,
Yep.
which is weird. Like that's not
That's
what
just
anime
part of the
is.
stigma, but it's going away. I
Just
think that's
because
just a lot
somebody
of the
watches
older
anime
people
doesn't
now.
mean they enjoy watching hentai.
No, a lot of them do.
But you can't assume that. It's wrong for you to assume if you
You
meet
kinda
somebody
can.
that watches anime, you cannot assume that person watches hentai. Hello, everyone. Welcome to That Anime Podcast. My name is Jordo. Here with me today and always is my co-host and little brother, Brennan. We want to tell you guys a little bit about ourselves. We want to tell you about what our podcast is going to be about. It's 99% of the time going to be talking about anime and things related to anime, animation, Japanese culture. What am I missing, Brennan?
I think that about covers it. I mean, we'll get off on tangents, I'm sure, that are related to anime, but, you know, the core of it will definitely be anime.
I mean, here's the thing. Anime is growing here in the States. It's evident because you get on Netflix. I mean, Demon Slayer on Netflix is trending. It's in the top, like, right? I was looking yesterday. Demon Slayer is in the trending. I think it's #1 in the US trending on Netflix, which is...
Yep, saw that too.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. And it's not dubbed in English yet. So people that are watching that are reading subtitles, which means you're a true anime guy.
Is it not dubbed? I don't know. I haven't checked
I
it out
watched
on
the
Crunchyroll.
preview. It was not dubbed.
Because I know Adult Swim has dubbed it, so I don't know if it's made its way to Netflix. Probably not.
But either way, I don't need to prove to anybody that it's growing here in the U.S. Netflix knows it's growing. There's a demand for this. And Brennan and I, we want to be at the end of that curve. We know it's growing, so we're like, let's start a podcast. Let's share our love for anime and all things cartoon. But I want to start off by telling you all a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Jordo, or at least that's what everybody calls me. And I'm actually relatively new to the anime world. I live here in Oklahoma, Tulsa to be exact. Some people call us the new Austin. I am married, have a little girl, and I am 29 years old, but not too old to watch my cartoons. Brennan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 27 years old. As far as anime goes, I've been watching pretty heavily. I'd say probably since I was about 20. I mean, I watched it when I was younger too, but when I really got into it, I was about 20. So 7 years of strong anime watching, and you know, I got a lot of opinions, obviously, from that. Anybody who's watched that long is definitely going to have opinions. I'm single. I'm dating a girl. Not married yet, but, you know, maybe in the future. And just a big anime fan, geek, love video games, too. All that kind of stuff.
I mean, anybody that watches anime is kind of considered a geek, but I don't think that that's true anymore. I think that times have changed. It's gonna be the cool thing and the mainstream thing to do is what I'm predicting.
Yeah, the stigma's not like it used to be. I mean, shoot, when I first started watching, just like 5 to 7 years ago, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of people talking about it. It's a lot different now for sure, but in a lot of ways, I feel like it's still just Dragon Ball Z was like the cool one, and now like Naruto's the cool one. Like people talk about that, but there's just the world's so much deeper than that. Not that I don't love Naruto, because I do, but I just wish people would watch more than just that.
Yeah. I think that it's weird because you listen to all these podcasts about anime, and the people that are hosting these shows, they're not young 20, 18, 17-year-old people. They're in their 40s, they're in their 50s.
Very true.
I mean, none of them are young, so it just goes to show this anime is not a cartoon in the sense like it is here in America, where cartoons are created for, other than Family Guy and shows like that, they're not created for just kids. Like, these are shows that adults like watching as well.
And if you get deep enough into it, I mean, a lot of people just think anime fighting and maybe like the hentai type stuff too. People associate that who don't know anything about it, but literally there's
Yeah,
a genre for everything. Like, you could recommend an anime if someone said what they want out of a show. There's probably an anime that somewhat meets that criteria, but they just wouldn't be willing to give it a chance because it's just a cartoon to them.
that is true. A lot of people that don't know anything about anime, they hear the word anime and they think of like hentai porn stuff,
Yep.
which is weird. Like that's not
That's
what
just
anime
part of
is.
the stigma, but it's going away. I
Just
think that's
because
just a lot
somebody
of the
watches
older
anime
people
doesn't
now.
mean they enjoy watching hentai.
No, a lot of them do.
But you can't assume that. It's wrong for you to assume if you
You
meet
kind of
somebody
can.
that watches anime, you cannot assume that person watches hentai.
Yeah, the tentacles, even in like Hollywood movies, like it's a big joke too, which I don't know why, but
Yeah. So anyways, that brings me, so as I was saying before, I'm relatively new to anime. I've only probably got 15 animes under my belt, mostly mainstream ones. Brennan, he, on the other hand, he's been watching anime for 6-7 years now. What, in your opinion, even is anime?
I go with the black and white answer that it's animation made in Japan because, I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere because, I mean, a cartoon can definitely pull inspiration from anime, but also it's just missing. Like, the closest thing is Avatar, The Last Airbender. I know a lot of people bring that one up. And to me, it does have almost everything an anime has, but I don't know, to me, something's missing. And I would consider that just a cartoon, not an anime.
It's almost like, I'll tell you what's missing. I think that one of the things that and I agree with your definition of what anime is. I think that one of the things that's missing in a lot of our American attempts at anime is like The Last Airbender. It's almost too realistic. Like the fight scenes in anime, the bodies of the people get all distorted and like you know what I'm talking about? Like in Haikyuu, like when they're spiking and stuff, their arms get long.
Like bending stuff.
Yeah, it like plays tricks on your eyes where it's like,
Yeah.
it's visually fascinating,
Mhm.
and Last Airbender doesn't have that. It's very traditional art.
Yeah, and that may be a times thing too. I don't know. When the Airbender came out, mid 2005 to 2007 probably, where Haikyuu is a pretty new animation, but I agree it's not as
It's the art style, I think, is what it's missing.
yeah, it is.
I mean, it's you all you anime fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not hating on Last Airbender.
Yeah, it's a good show, and no one's
I just think
arguing
that
that.
the art style is what it's missing. It's like too plain. I don't know.
Yeah,
But great show. I agree. That's what anime is. I'd say it's Japanese cartoons.
basically.
I want to talk about what some of our first memories and exposures to anime are. I know for me, I think my first exposure, maybe even before Dragon Ball Z, was when our older brother Colton, and he'll be on the show many times. You guys will get to hear from him. He is definitely the biggest anime person in our family, and he's our oldest brother.
Yep, he consumes at a massive rate.
He does.
It's unbelievable. He shares my Crunchyroll account, so I know everything he's watching.
Oh yeah, he's
and
he's
it's
on
a loaded
that
list.
Crunchyroll. I think that one of the first shows he was watching was Inuyasha.
I don't remember that. I used to watch.
Alchemist?
He watched Full Metal, I know.
It was all that stuff that was airing on Adult Swim at night.
Yeah.
But I think that Inuyasha was one of my first exposures, but my first influential exposure, like probably 90% of the population here in America, is Dragon Ball Z.
Yep, mine too. I mean, I watched Inuyasha some just here and there when I would stay up late enough, but a lot of times I didn't. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z for sure. But back then, I don't even think I knew what an anime was. I don't think I called it Dragon Ball Z anime or had heard that term being thrown around. Of course, I'm in grade school, so it was just a cartoon. But I mean, you could tell as a kid it was different than the other cartoons we were watching.
You could.
Just by the art style, just the storyline, which storyline was basically new big bad comes up, let's get stronger, train, and fight him.
Goku finds a new form.
But it works.
It does. There really is something about anime that was on a whole... That's why everybody loved Dragon Ball Z, is because we grew up watching all these other cartoons, and then we don't know that Dragon Ball Z is a Japanese cartoon with English voice actors, I mean, that explains why it was so popular.
Yeah.
It was a timing thing. I mean,
It's crazy how long Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball were out in Japan before it was over here on Toonami. We'd get home after school and watch it in dub.
yeah, we were running down the street from the bus to try and catch the start of the episode.
Yeah, our older brother, he would have football practice, and I remember we would record it on VHS, and then we would rewatch it again when he got home. The Majin Buu saga, specifically.
That was a frustrating show as a kid because even as a kid, you realize a lot of the episodes were just the characters powering up.
Yeah, it was. And then going back and watching it ever since.
Kakarot! Kakarot!
It's also one of the things that made it legendary, though. Episode-long transformations.
I mean,
fights taking place over several episodes that were like 2 minutes in time.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, and we'll get off Dragon Ball, but we know Dragon Ball, it introduced us to this world that we're gonna start talking on every week. I love the show, but now that I'm deeper in anime, you do realize how it has no layers to it whatsoever. Like, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, love all the characters, love the Universe Tournament. What was that called? The Tournament of Power?
Yeah.
That was a great arc. But when you watch other shows, like Naruto, for example, which is probably the most popular, there's so much more layers to the characters and backstories, and there's actually training involved and specific power. Like, they don't just become more powerful. They train for it, and they have technique.
Yeah.
Whereas in Dragon Ball,
there's more strategy in the battle,
if you get the shit kicked out of you long enough, and you're a Saiyan, you're going to awaken a new power and become a god, basically, is what it's taught us.
Yeah, but at this point, I basically know what I'm getting when I watch an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, that's what I'm expecting, so I'm not going into it with any expectations of some great storyline. Like, I'm there for the next form, the next obstacle for Goku and Vegeta to overcome. Because, most recently in Super, it's if you're not Goku or Vegeta, you don't have much of a shot at the big bad, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Though I would like to see Gohan get his love. He was one of the coolest characters, and he's been going downhill ever since.
He beat
Trunks and
Cell
Goten
with one arm, and then he just became Saiyaman.
Yeah.
And that was the end for him.
Which I guess kind of, adds layers that they don't all... He's only half Saiyan, makes, Goku and Vegeta stand out even more. It's just straight up, they live for the battle.
Yeah, they did him dirty.
Yeah,
maybe they'll bring him back. Maybe they've got Akira Toriyama's got a plan for him.
They try to. They try to give him some moments, but I just feel like it's gonna be hard for him to match up with the Cell games ever.
Yeah. All right,
let's get off Dragon Ball. Keep bringing it back up.
Yeah. Moving on from Dragon Ball. Brennan, what is it about anime? And you may not even know the answer to this question, but there's a reason why it's so popular, and it's not because it's in Japanese. What is it about anime that you enjoy? Like, what is it that makes you watch these shows, read subtitles? Because you could watch something in English. You could just watch, Game of Thrones or all of these things, which we do also watch. But what is it about anime that you enjoy so much?
Probably just the high, I don't know if to say high fantasy aspect, but it's just so much different than everything you watch, on regular TV. Not that, I like sitcoms and stuff like that. They make me laugh. There's something about the fights and the animation. It's just a pleasure to watch for me.
I was thinking about this question too and chewing on it. I think that one of the reasons why anime is so popular, other than the art style, is all of the characters. They kind of have the same formula as Disney, where the main characters are these people that have nothing, come from nothing, just
tragic backstory.
Tragic backstory.
One or no parents.
And then they have their come up. The whole show is them trying to achieve this impossible thing that the whole world told them that they'd never do. And I think that people like rooting for the...
Yeah. Well, specifically for long-running anime, the main character has to have that goal. It has to become the Hokage, Pirate King, Goku, Vegeta, just to be stronger. And that's one of the reasons why Bleach, kind of fizzled out at the end. His goal... His motive wasn't clear, but just to protect people.
Don't spoil anything for me.
He's still watching Bleach, but
I'm only on episode 13, but it's good so far.
Yeah, and I love Bleach. Its highs are high, but I just feel like he was missing that goal. So he You know, it just had to keep putting him into situations where he had to get stronger. He didn't want to become stronger, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he did to save his people, but I don't know. I fuck with Ichigo heavy though, so
He's a favorite for the art community of anime. A lot of people like drawing that guy. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think it is about anime. Is like it's the story. I think that people love the story because it is super fantasy, but it's also there's a lot of realistic aspects to it.
yeah.
Where,
I mean, if Hollywood would sack up and put some money into an anime adaptation, it would be baller. But
they never do.
They
Even
fucking
Netflix
won't.
tries, and they just don't
Yeah.
succeed.
I mean, the Bleach one. You watched the Bleach live action, didn't you?
No, I did not.
I thought you did. It's all. I mean, it just sucks that I have to say it's all right. I wish I could just say one was actually good.
None of them are all right. That's the thing, and I think that
It's just in comparison to some of the other ones that have come out. They're so shitty that just like put a little bit of money. Like I'm pretty sure like some studios have bought the rights to Naruto and other anime, but they're just holding on to them. And I'll just say if they ever do want to do them, put some money into it. Don't make it look shitty. I mean, Dragon Ball Evolution proved that shit got botched.
oh yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
The Kamehameha
everything.
was when he released the Kamehameha wave, it was moving at probably 15 miles an hour.
and then just the
I could
outfit, set design,
sprint away from that
storyline.
thing.
In some ways,
You know what? Also, the problem was with whenever America tries to do an adaptation or a movie, anime is created for the language of Japanese, and when we put our voice actors on it, it doesn't translate well.
it's just a different. I mean, there's a lot of English voice actors that I respect and like, especially from video games and anime I've watched. I don't know. A lot of them just don't go for it like they do in Japan. And in Japan, it's a highly. I mean, it's an honorable job to have there. Like they take
those
that
guys are good.
very seriously. And I know they do here too. I think we're just catching up because it's been a big deal over there. And they do. They add an extra layer of emotion than most of the dub actors don't.
They do. The dub actors, and when we say dub, we mean English voice actors. They are not the original, so it's like it's always gonna feel. Yeah, they probably go at 8 out of 10. The Japanese voice actors, they're going at a 12.
Yeah.
They go over the top, and it makes it more enjoyable when they're screaming, when they're powering up.
That's also, I think, what if you walk in on someone watching an anime and they hear that shit, especially with like little girls or
they
just
think
girl
you're
characters,
watching hentai, yeah,
or even just All Might yelling, they're gonna be like, "What the hell are you watching?"
yeah, that's true.
And I think that's also why they dub it a certain way. Possibly, I don't know. I'm not in the studio when they're recording. That's why they dub it a certain way, just to make it normal, because that's what Americans watch. They're not that intense.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's one of the reasons why. So why don't more people in America watch anime? They're clearly going to. That's why we're doing this podcast. We believe that there's a huge wave of demand coming. Netflix is going to start buying up animes and dubbing them like nobody's business. But why do you think more people in America, as of right now, don't watch anime?
Access to it, definitely. Just, I mean, if you're like older, any couple
That's
years
true.
older than us, maybe you just didn't have access. I mean, if you weren't getting home and watching Toonami or staying up late to watch Adult Swim, I don't know if you were like buying DVDs or VHSs or probably just watching it off some sketchy website, which I've done before. Nothing wrong with that. You got to get it how you got to get it.
Yeah.
But I think access, and now just the access, like you said, Netflix has it. When I first started picking up pretty good back in my early 20s, I was just watching on Netflix and Hulu. And then, shows started coming out, and I just had to get Crunchyroll to see the most current stuff. And I think, I don't know how many people have Crunchyroll. I'm sure a lot of people are dabbling in anime.
I mean,
They're
there's
probably
only
just
the only
Hulu
places you can have are Crunchyroll and
well, there's the Funimation app too.
But didn't Funimation buy Crunchyroll or something?
I don't know. They have a deal. They have some shared account thing. I'm not sure on the. We'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I agree.
I know. I'm pretty sure Sony bought Crunchyroll.
Somebody
I don't know what
bought
that means
Crunchyroll.
for Crunchyroll, but
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
I mean,
think
Crunchyroll
that,
just innovated with the simulcast. When it airs in Japan and we can get it here, pretty quickly. The world's just a lot smaller that way too.
I think that you're right that access is a huge thing, but I also think that people don't give anime a chance because of, like you mentioned, the stigma.
Yeah, if it's not their cup of tea.
Nobody wants to shout from the rooftops that they watch anime,
Yeah.
including us. Like,
I mean, if you're 30 years old and you've never seen an anime,
you're never going to start.
you
Likely.
probably won't start one unless something just gets so hype, which I'm kind of hoping Attack on Titan can become that.
I was recommending Attack on Titan to a guy at work just because it has so much traction. It's a good introductory because the story is so freaking intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It depends on if you're into that intense kind of stuff. But there's also a lot of screaming and yelling, and it is pretty violent for a cartoon, so I don't know, or an anime, but I'm saying cartoon because that's what they're going to perceive it as. You know, people getting bit in half and stuff. I would like to see someone who's never watched an anime watch that. I wonder if their reaction would be like, damn.
Or if they'd be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
true.
know if it would be the one I'd like, hey, watch this one first. I would have to talk to that person, like, what kind of shows do you like before I would recommend anything.
I mean, Haikyuu is a good one to recommend. I feel like a lot of people watch that because it's on Netflix and it had a good trailer, like a good teaser.
Yeah, that's why I watched it. And Colton, he always talked high on it, but I didn't really watch. The only other sports anime I watched before that was Kuroko no Basket, and I didn't even finish it. But Haikyuu, yeah, it's
Kuroko's Basketball.
my current favorite. Yeah, Kuroko no Basket.
Is that what it's called, or Kuroko's Basketball?
I mean, I think it translates to the basketball Kuroko plays.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
I watched all of that. It was pretty dang good, but it's different than Haikyuu because there are unnatural powers that people have.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool I think it makes the show better, just because I don't know. I love basketball. Like, I play in a men's league on Sundays, so I'm not hating on it. There's something about volleyball. Maybe because I never played volleyball,
it's cool
really got into it deep. Like, my girlfriend played in high school. But other than that, like, I just didn't know much about volleyball. So I'm like learning a sport too, I feel like, when I'm watching it. And just the characters, the way they develop. And the quality of the show, really. To me, it's unmatched right now. What they do episode to episode and how the characters have grown. And the team.
And it's also fun to watch because it's one of those shows where you don't know if the team's going to win or not. Or some shows, it's like,
they could lose.
You know, like in a typical shonen when it's fight, it's like they can't lose because they're going to die and then there's no show.
Yeah, plot armor. There's no plot armor. And, well, there maybe could be. Because in their most...
I mean,
watch Haikyuu if you haven't, but right now I feel like in their last match, if you're caught up, I didn't think they would lose that one. But now going forward... We don't read the manga, so we're just anime only.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about people that read ahead of the manga. What are your thoughts on this on that?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're reading ahead. I would say
but
in a lot of ways they're the purest form of anime fan because that's what it's coming from. That's what it's derived from. That's probably an access thing. Like, I didn't even know what manga was until I was deeper into anime, and then it's like I kind of wanted to do it, but then it's like, where the hell am I going to put all these things? You know, if you want to read all the manga for Bleach, Naruto, or One Piece, you know, get a couple bookshelves.
I mean, you can read them online for free.
Yeah, and I did that. The funny thing about Naruto, I was anime only, Shippuden. How I ended up seeing the end for the first time was on fucking Naruto Ninja Storm 4. I was playing through it. I didn't think it'd go to the end. So that's how I saw the ending for the first time. So then I was like, fuck it. Got on I don't know what the site is where you can read manga online, but I ended up just reading the end too. So I played it in a video game, but the cutscenes were actually pretty good. Anyone who's played Storm 4 story mode, they did a decent job. I mean, I wouldn't say it's better than the anime, but they cover the basis for sure.
I don't like that people can read ahead. I mean, personally, I don't know.
I usually get spoiled. Sometimes you can. Depends
do.
On how deep you are into like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and what you follow.
Yeah, on Instagram, I'll see people like drawing anime characters that haven't even been introduced. And like, if you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, have you started Jujutsu Kaisen yet?
I haven't yet.
There's a guy, Gojo Sotaro, and he wears a blindfold, and everybody's drawn the picture of him. Yeah,
Kakashi
he looks like Kakashi.
Too. Yeah, I've seen him.
Everybody's drawing the picture of him where he shows his eyes, and it's like, what the hell? I would have liked to see that just in the. I don't know. It's not like
you just
it's
gotta
a
learn
spoiler.
to watch out for that shit.
It's not a spoiler at all either. But
I'll
it's just
stay
like,
off. I'm a video gamer too, so if there's something I don't want to, if I'm playing what comes to mind, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Whenever I had that, like, I wasn't getting on Instagram. I wasn't searching it. If I saw anything, I'm moving right past it. And I think that had some leaks, too. So, I don't know. I kind of just learned, just skim over anything. Don't click on it. And I don't have a TikTok, so nothing slides up that I'm not trying to watch that spoils anything for me.
I mean, I can't avoid the spoils. I have an art Instagram. I like to draw anime characters. If you want to follow me. My handle is Geronimo Jordo.
Yeah, check it out, guys. It's,
there's a little plug for myself.
Kind of watch, how he gets better at it.
But I see a lot of people drawing characters and they're like covered in blood. And I'm like, son of a, if this is a spoiler, I'm going to be pissed. And like, I know it is because I see it all over the place. And like, I know people aren't trying to spoil stuff, but that's the one thing I don't like about the manga. I love the manga because it's the source material for the anime, but it sucks because they're years ahead of where the anime
sometimes is. I mean, they're learning how to do it better, I think. I mean, Naruto was just, it's notorious for the filler because it was, it'd have to give time for the manga to get ahead. And I think now they know that people don't fuck with filler. I mean, some shows got to do it those long running formats, but think of shows like My Hero. They let the manga get ahead and then they produce their 25 episodes and they go on hiatus until they have enough material. And that's definitely the way to do it. Makes every episode more engageable. Because, shit, when I started watching anime, I didn't even know what the hell filler was. So
Thank
I'm
goodness
sitting here.
You told me about it before.
Yeah, I told Jordan
has, like,
to look up the filler list.
Pillow.
Because I was watching Bleach at the time, and I'm watching some fucking, if anybody watched the Bleach filler, Shusuke Omagai arc. And I had no idea. My older brother was like, I've never seen this one. He's like, it might be filler. And I was like, what the fuck is filler?
Oh.
But yeah, it changed my life.
You got to Google those filler lists. I do it every time before I watch it. But there's usually not filler in the first season, usually.
Yeah, not always. It just depends. I mean, you can tell. I mean, now if I'm watching, which there's not a whole lot of long-running formatted anime that I don't check for, because One Piece is the only super long one I'm currently watching. I'm not all the way caught up, but I check the filler list on that just in case, just to make sure. But you can also kind of tell if it gets into filler territory. Bleach is the worst about it. They'll just fucking stop the story and start a brand new arc. Because even back then I was like, what the fuck? I thought we were here. Now we're just starting this shit. At least with Naruto, they kind of worked their way into it. Like it looks like it could be like whenever.
You could never tell with Naruto unless you read the list. You'd never know.
Yeah. Except some of the fights get,
They sew them in there pretty tight.
And I've watched some of the Naruto filler just for fun. And some of them aren't that bad, especially all the ones where they try to demask Kakashi. I think a lot of people like those ones.
People trying to give that guy a mole on his face, but they don't. It's not actually like
he does have a mole.
So that like people drawing his face and stuff. That episode is considered like that's what he looks like. When
I don't know. I thought that shit was canon.
I don't think it is. Everybody be drawing him with a mole though.
Yeah, because he had a mole. Did you not watch that episode?
No, I didn't watch any filler. I never watched.
It's
filler.
like a flashback in the
my time
towards
is precious
the end.
to me.
But I don't know. I considered his mole to be canon.
I don't think it is, but either way, okay. Moving on from Kakashi's mole. If you do know what the heck Kakashi's face looks like, you're probably the original artist who created him. Because I don't think anybody's supposed to know what his face looks like. Who knows though? I don't know.
I'd have to look that up.
One thing I want to talk to you about, Brennan, is we talked about anime has a stigma. So all of our listeners, they know it. They know what it feels like, even if all your friends watch it. In society as a whole, here in America, do you feel like a nerd because you watch anime? Or do you feel like people perceive you as a nerd if they hear that you watch anime?
I mean, yeah, probably a little bit. Just like how I am out in
if you're
public.
on a dating website, are you going to put it on your profile that that's one of your hobbies?
I mean, I've been on Tinder and Bumble and all that shit before, and I've edited my account a couple different times, and a few times I have put that I watch anime and stuff, and it has started like some conversations, but so yeah, I'd put it on there, but at first, no, I wouldn't. But then, like, as you get older, you get more comfortable with it.
Oh, you watch cartoons, or you watch hentai.
I mean, it definitely makes someone look at you different. Like, I look at people different, not in a bad way, like, just people I'm friends with or, like, no, and then I find out they watch anime. It's kind of like, you got that automatic bond. You're like, hey.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
You look at them, then you want to start talking about shit. They ask you what you've seen. But it's the exact opposite, like, for people that I know that just look at me like, that don't know that I watch it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I love anime and all this shit. They'd be like, damn, I didn't know that about you. And they'd be like, this kid's kind of a nerd. Which I'm not saying people think I'm cool anyways, but there's definitely changes. It wouldn't just be like, oh, you watch Game of Thrones? Like, that's wildly accepted. Nobody thinks anything if you watch or don't watch it.
Do you watch Naruto? Even people that don't know what anime is know what Naruto is. They've seen it, heard of it.
Yeah, if you're...
And they generally will associate you with not negative
Naruto's
or bad,
kind
but,
of... It's,
you know,
it's the new generation's Dragon Ball Z, I think. I mean, I love Naruto, but I think, like, it's like the one everybody knows about and, like, TikToks about, tweets about, memes about, and all that, which is good for exposure. Excuse me. To anime, but there's still more than that. It's just, like, popular anime, like Goku and Naruto, like, yeah, everybody knows who they are.
Nobody knows who freaking Saitama is, though.
Which is fucked up.
Saitama's the...
Everyone should know who Saitama is.
We're gonna do an episode of
Saitama v Goku.
Just in a fight of all the anime characters, who would actually win? And here's what I'm saying. I did a drawing of it once. I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. We won't do an episode. Let's talk about it right now. In my opinion, a fight between anybody, the strongest characters are Saitama, One Punch Man, just because they haven't even shown him at full power yet. The guy doesn't even try. And then Maito Guy from Naruto, when he hits that 8th gate, he's gonna die after. He could take out anybody in the show.
Well, yeah, and they do that. That's why a lot of times when there's a big bad, he's just conveniently, like when Pain showed up, he's conveniently on a mission, or just a lot of fights they can't have Guy there because then nobody else can get shine, which is good. I love that about him, that
and he's humble.
A lot of ways you don't even realize how strong he is. Like me and my girlfriend, we're in Shippuden right now. We just got to the 4th grade Ninja War arc, so we're in for a long one. But I was trying to tell her as we were watching, like, you just don't even realize. She knows he's strong, but you don't realize how strong he is because he's not taking down the main bad guys. It's usually, say, for Naruto or, like, Sasuke or Kakashi.
He beat the crap out of Itachi's partner, the Shark
Kisame.
Man.
Yeah,
Kisame.
That's what I'm saying. They keep him away from the main bads because that's just how strong he is. The plot keeps him away. Yeah. And then when he finally gets a chance to roll, who should have been the last bad guy, Madara, if it wasn't for his Sage of Six Paths, healing ability, he's dead.
Oh, yeah. He
but
got
Goku
worked.
Is definitely my strongest.
You think Goku Mastered Ultra Instinct stronger than Saitama?
I think base Goku can beat Saitama.
I don't think so, man.
I think the Dragon Ball Z characters, just their universe, the power levels are different because I don't really know if I'm on the boat that, like, Krillin could clap Naruto, but it'd be a good fight.
Shoot. I mean,
like,
yeah.
Gohan, I think, yeah, like any version of Gohan, Cell Games and above, I think could beat,
Yeah, most
Nine
Dragon
Tails
Ball
Chakra
Z
mode.
characters could beat the ninjas of Konoha.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think that's a
Might
universal
Guy,
thing. Like, they're just built up that power, especially
but
the
they're
Saiyans.
also not the Saiyans aren't as tactful as
That's why they.
ninjas. They're just brute
that's why they'd
force.
wreck people.
They just go in there with their Gallic gun and fire off as many shots as they
Yeah,
can.
and that's why I think the Naruto fights are a little more interesting.
They are. There's
because
planning,
of that strategy,
strategizing. There's teamwork,
and you
there's
really
no
see that.
teamwork
You really see that in the Zabuza fight. They're completely outmatched, and Naruto and Sasuke work together, and their goal, their goal is just to free Kakashi. They don't have a chance to win, straight up. So it's like they got to free Kakashi. They can't run away, and that right there alone. That's why the stronger they get in Naruto and then in Shippuden, the fights become less and less of that, which is fine. It comes with the growth of power.
That was one of the best fights.
Yeah.
That was
the
like,
reverse
that was
harem
like the only
jutsu.
time that
was
Sasuke and Naruto worked together the entire show.
I'm trying to think if they had a few more. Not really.
Sasuke! Naruto!
Sometimes I wish they would have had a few more missions as Team 7 to build up their friendship a little more.
Shoot, Sasuke was pretty much... The only time they had a friendship was whenever Naruto was walking home and Sasuke was walking home and he'd look down at Naruto sitting on the water.
Opposite, yeah, and they'd look at each other.
And they'd look at each other. That was the only bond they ever shared.
I mean, they definitely had a bond, but yeah, I wish they would have like had more than just that fight. I mean, they had the chakra forest, climbing the trees, so they definitely did have some moments, but in respect.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them
for each other in some ways, but
yeah, that was yeah, Naruto's a good show. If you're listening to our podcast,
I mean, we won't just talk about the main ones, but
100% you probably watch Naruto, and you enjoy listening to us talk about it.
I think you should watch
Naruto
if
anime.
you haven't.
There's a ton of episodes, so watch out for that filler though.
It'll get you a good baseline of anime going forward.
So, anime is on the rise. We've talked about that. It's growing here in the U.S. Netflix is to blame. Thank you, Netflix. I wonder if companies like PBS and NBC and FX are going to try and get some of the share of this.
Maybe
Stream
FX,
Wars.
because they do like, what is that, Archer, and I think they have Family Guy. I know Fox does and stuff, so they have like animated things. But
here's the thing: nerds control the wave of streaming. Man, did you hear that The Mandalorian was the #1 streamed?
Yeah, I did see that actually.
Of 2020.
Yeah,
there's only 24
episodes.
16 episodes. Yeah, #1. Star Wars nerds, we hear you out there. We're Star Wars nerds too. Love it. But anime, they're gonna want a piece of the pie. Those companies are about making money, and they'll make the content to make the money.
Yeah, I don't know how close it is, because I mean, the popularity's definitely grown, but it's not massive, I wouldn't say. Just the people that do like anime, they go hard for it. And it's hard to be casual in some ways, but...
Okay. Let me ask you this, Brennan. What shows are you watching right now?
We're dabbling, like I said, me and my girlfriend, I'm trying to catch her up on a lot of the basic animes, rites of passage anime. We finished Naruto Part 1, we're into Shippuden, like I said, 4th grade Ninja War arc, so we're kind of slowed down on pace, because she'll get burnt out, and I guess I get it. It never happened to me my first time through. I just caught up with Haikyuu, like, last week. I wanted to wait till all the episodes were out so I could binge it, basically. And then also watching Attack on Titan with my girlfriend. I'm trying to catch her up on that. I haven't watched any of Season 4.
That's good.
So we just started Season 3, Episode 1 last night. So I think it's going to time out to where we'll probably be on Season 4 right when it's about to end. Or we'll be all the way caught up and I'll have to fucking wait week to week to see what happens next.
I don't mind being caught up on Attack on Titan.
I mean, I don't either.
A new episode dropped today. Can't wait to watch it tonight. I'm currently watching Attack on Titan. I'm fully caught up. Black Clover, fully caught up.
I need to catch up on Black Clover.
I don't know why. So that voice actor in Season 1, he is annoying. Who plays Asta?
Yeah, I have started it, and I don't know how far I got. I watched quite a bit, but probably like the first 10. And I don't know if that's why I stopped. And then I actually picked it back up, the dub on Hulu, which isn't too bad, guys, I swear.
It's good.
But I think they only have 53 episodes, so that's as far as I've seen. I'm not saying I'm going to wait for the dub. That's just where I watched up to. I'll probably go over to subtitles soon.
Yeah, so the subtitles aren't bad. So I'm watching Attack on Titan, Black Clover, Bleach. I'm on episode 13, so I'm very new.
Bleach dub, I'm telling you.
I don't want to watch the commercials.
It's not too
on Hulu,
bad,
though. We don't pay for the Hulu Premium, so I have to have a commercial.
Yeah, I guess.
5 minutes.
But I'm telling you, the Bleach dub. John Young Bosch.
And then Food Wars. I'm almost
Shokugeki no Soma.
I'm pretty much caught up on that. That's a good show.
I'm not caught up on that.
If you like just food stuff, it's pretty good. And Demon Slayer, freaking loved that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that twice. I watched it once by myself as it aired, and then
did you
again,
watch
me and my
Shield
girlfriend.
Hero?
I never watched Rising of the Shield.
That's a good show.
I gotta watch that. Dr. Stone.
I haven't started Dr. Stone, but I hear it's got a fan base that
I'm falling off. I used to be the whatever was popping. I was up
It's
to
'cause you
date
got a
with it.
girlfriend now. You just
Yeah,
gotta get her watching more with you. And
Well, I'm
get back
catching
on
her
that
up on the
horse.
shit you have to see, and then we'll be caught up eventually.
Yeah, I just finished Kuroku's basketball. I'm all caught up on Hunter x Hunter. That's a freaking great show. Dang, that's a good show.
Yeah,
It
is.
What else is the main? Oh, I'm caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm caught up with all the main ones except for I'd say Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
Like all the ones that are super popular, I'm caught up on.
Yeah, lots of shonen anime. If you guys didn't notice, I've watched several that
Haikyuu.
aren't, but I mean it's definitely where I started, and I think that's where Jordan's at right now. Those are just the ones you watch, and then eventually you'll start to look for more. I think the first one that I watched that wasn't was Your Lie in April. Have you seen that one on Netflix?
No.
I guess it's kind of shonen-esque. It's about a music prodigy kid, and I guess the battles would be their contest where they like play piano or violin. But I mean,
Doesn't sound too bad.
it's good anime for sure.
I like the sports.
It's the
anime
first one
ones.
that is different. See, the sports ones to me are just volleyball is them fighting, and they train. It's kind of the same format to me.
Yeah, they train, they fight, but that nobody can die. So that's why it's interesting because you don't know who's going to win.
And that's how it is with Your Lie in April for anyone who's watched that, which that has a banger opening if anybody knows. You don't watch openings, do you?
I do the first time and then I skip it. But I will say
shit's fucked up.
The ending, I don't watch the endings either except for one time.
You got to at least listen to them a couple times to see if they're good on the endings. I don't hold that against anybody.
Jujutsu Kaisen's ending, our older brother texted us and said it's the best ending. It really is. That Lost in Paradise song and the way that they've got the characters dancing to it, it's freaking awesome.
So when you watch Attack on Titan, the new episodes, you don't watch the opening.
I watched the opening of Attack on Titan just because it's fitting to the vibe of the show.
I mean, if it's week to week and you don't watch the opening,
it's week. Yeah,
that shit's fucked up. One. But I guess I get it slightly if you're watching on Netflix. Fuck, Netflix will automatically make you skip that shit after one episode. Skip it,
yeah. If you
which ain't right.
Yeah, I like that. I'll watch it one time and then I've seen what I need to see. And sometimes I don't like how it spoils things.
That's part of it. You're supposed to give you hints.
I'm not a fan of spoilers.
I mean, it doesn't spoil anything. It just kind of lets you know what to expect for the season.
It shows you like in Black Clover, it shows you a new form before he even gets there, and you're like, what the?
Something to expect.
Yeah, I know, but I want to be completely shocked when that happens.
I don't ever. I mean, sometimes I'll skip openings, but not really.
Openings in anime are very important, and let's talk.
That shit's an honor over there. Like
these songs,
good artists and big artists in Japan, like they do anime openings, and I think that shit's lit. Like
I don't even.
It'd be
understand.
like Ariana Grande or Justin Bieber or fucking The Weeknd making a song specifically for a show, which they need to start doing over here. But
they need. I mean,
just a difference.
The anime openings and endings, they hit. I don't know what it is about it.
Why the hell are you skipping them?
That's a good question. I mean, okay, ones that I like, I don't skip. Like when I watched Hunter x Hunter, I never skipped the beginning or end because I always liked their songs. But
see, that one's weird in the fact that it literally only had the song's called Departure, I believe.
Yeah, it's freaking good.
It's the same song throughout every episode. They have version 1 and 2 though. I mean, but yeah, I like that song.
And like Naruto had some good ones too. If it was a song I enjoyed listening to, which most of the time I do, I didn't skip. But like Bleach, I skip.
Bleach has some good ones too.
The end song sucks.
I mean, some of the end songs are good. I don't always watch the endings, but
I don't even understand why it's in English. The end song.
Sometimes they are. I don't really know why or why not, but sometimes they're in English.
Shoot, Bleach missed the mark on their end song for episode 1 through 13.
Well, I think they do. I know for Naruto for sure. They change the endings way more frequent than the openings, so there's just a lot more.
Okay, let's start to wrap up here. So if you're trying to decide if you want to follow our podcast, or wondering if you should be a listener, yeah, what Brennan said, you should follow us. Our podcast is for anybody who is deep in anime, addicted to anime,
casual
just
fun.
Starting out, wanting to give it a chance, or just likes listening to above average cool cats talking.
Yeah, if you're just starting out,
that's us.
This will be your shit for sure. Or just in the middle, or if you're just like a hardcore and everybody has trash taste and you want to make fun of us,
Oh,
that
yeah.
might be for you too.
I mean, we'll talk about things sometimes outside of anime. Brennan plays video games. I've got a Nintendo Switch. We're huge Disney fans. Amateur movie critics. We watch a lot. We consume a lot of content, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we're just at that age.
Yeah, and we'll start talking about, episode specifics, hopefully, show specifics. We're just letting you guys know our basis of anime right now. Which leads me to the question before we go. What was the first anime you watched? Was it Naruto when you officially started watching?
When I officially started, per your recommendation, it was Naruto.
Yeah, it's a good
one.
one.
And I watched the first episode. I was like, what the? I think I watched it in English, and I was like, this freaking Naruto keeps saying the same. What was it that he keeps saying?
Believe it.
Believe it.
Databayo.
Believe it. Yeah, I was like, this kid's annoying as crap, and you told me just wait to get better.
I think he's funny.
By
he's funny
3,
as fuck in Naruto Part 1.
He's just always got to shit his pants. He's always trying to shit his pants, and the first couple episodes, you're like, dang, this kid. Like, I get why people pick on him. Like,
I don't
totally
mind
understand.
the dub for Naruto. I've watched it.
Believe it.
Both ways.
Believe it. Yeah.
They cut that shit out after a while. But mine, and don't judge me, guys, because this shit's taboo. Well, I watched anime like Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho when I was younger. I didn't see those in its entirety. It was just kind of like... Full Metal Alchemist was like the second one I watched when I was getting officially back into anime. And I watched the regular Full Metal Alchemist, and I thought Brotherhood was a continuation, but it's really just
it's a remake, isn't it?
It's the manga canon version.
Oh, okay.
Because the ending to the regular Full Metal Alchemist was just the animators made that up. But the first one I watched when I was getting back into it, I think I was 20. I was like a sophomore in college. I'd watched fucking Sword Art Online.
Oh, I watched that.
And I thought that shit was good.
It's not bad.
I still kind of like it. I've seen the videos
and
I've seen the hate. You're probably not on YouTube like me, but it pretty much gets bashed on.
Why?
You just have to watch some videos, and it will open your eyes to some flaws about it, but which they're there.
I mean, the first season, I was kind of upset that they were just clearing levels without actually showing us clearing levels.
Yeah, and I think they're making I can't think of what it's called. And then the brother was telling me about it. It's going to be more in depth. It's going to show them get all the way to whatever the fuck floor they were at whenever they got out, somewhere in the 70s. But that was the first one, and I like that shit.
It had such a good idea.
Premise, yeah.
But they did do a less than spectacular job. Because it was a cool idea. You get trapped in a game. You got to fight your way out.
You're badass. All the bitches like you.
You get to pick your name.
Yeah.
But yeah. Whenever they switched to that fairyland, I was like, okay, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, the first 13 episodes. I mean, I know there's problems with those. The first 13 episodes, though, while they're in Aincrad, is pretty damn good. And then it gets a little bit worse. And then Gun Gale. I think I've seen like 50 episodes. I haven't watched. And I've watched Ordinal Scale, too. And that's not bad. So I'll still consume the content. And it's just funny that that's the one that really got me back into it. Yeah. You got to watch some videos. It'll open your eyes a little bit. But
I forgot all about watching that.
It's not bad. I like the openings for that one, too.
It's just that when you compare shows like that to Attack on Titan, now, and apparently Dr. Stone is amazing, which we'll have to start watching that if we get a wild hair too. But anime it's what we do. It's what we want to talk about. We're going to be posting a new podcast every Monday, recording on Sundays, so you'll be getting a fresh dump every Monday morning.
On the way, while you're working.
Listen to work.
At the gym, if you work out.
While you're watching anime, you can hear us and you can read subtitles. That'd be very impressive if you could pull that off. But again, my name's Jordo.
I'm Brennan.
Thanks for joining us. This is That Anime Podcast.
Peace out.
Next week, we will probably talk about a specific anime. I'm thinking either best intros and outros, the most perverted anime character, which there are a lot of them. Minato from My Hero is probably the funniest in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Strongest anime character. We're gonna talk about honorifics, all things anime, Japanese culture, nerd stuff. You'll find it here on That Anime Podcast. Everybody have a great week. Peace